Good morning again, kiddos. Okay, today we are going to work on identifying subjective, objective, and possessive pronouns. You'll do this on a separate sheet of paper. You're not going to do it on these worksheets itself. We're going to watch these Khan Academies that show the difference between the subjective and an objective and a possessive pronoun. We'll play some Jeopardy to help identify them. And then again, you're going to do this on a blank sheet of paper. So again, name, hour, date on your paper. I know this one says the nominative case. Because again, a personal pronoun that's a subject can either be the subject of a pronoun or it can be the nominative. As a predicate nominative only comes after a linking verb. We see some examples. Again, ask yourself the question of who or what. Like if we look at my sister and blank went shopping, it would be I. So again, we're going to do part 1 and part 2, or part A and part B for each one of these. So this one I want you to call subject pronouns, and then we're going to do practice A and practice B. So again, let's look at reading practice A and practice B. And when you do that, again, you say Mrs. Lane and she, or Mrs. Lane and her own the store. Knowing the difference, what you should always do is take them out and read those sentences with each pronoun. So would you say she owned that? I know, and that's the problem is when you say she owned that store, her owned that store. It should be owns, but when you have both of them, it changes the subject verb agreement. But this for number 1, it would be she, because we would say she owns that store. So it would be like Mrs. Lane and she own that store. So you would just write the word she. I think on this you guys can do all 10. So do 1 through 10. And then for part B, use one that would, again, that would best finish the sentence. The funniest comedians were Ted and, now would you say Ted and I? Would you say Ted and she, Ted and he? Yeah, and those are more subjective. Interesting that we use that word. So you could use many different cases in that. You could say the funniest comedians were Trey and, again, we wouldn't say, for that one, we would say we're Trey and, what do we say? Trey and I, Trey and me, Trey and he, Trey and she. There's a lot of different pronouns we can use. So when my 8th grade that, I will give them different ones they can use. So just do 1 through 5 on this one. Then we're going to talk about the objective case. Again, the objective is, again, words that act as the object of the sentence. So we're going to do 1 through 10 on part A, and then we'll do 1 through 5 on part B. Again, so would we say, again, I would take out the ones, I would use both she and her and see which one works best. Like I led she into the room, or I led her into the room. Well, we know her is more the objective case, so just put the word her. You guys can, again, do 1 through 10 on this. And then fill in the blank with the best objective pronoun, which again would be words like him, her, them. Like for number 1, again, there could be a multitude of them. Will you take me fishing? Will you take him fishing? Will you take her fishing? Will you take them fishing? Will you take us fishing? There's a lot of different words that I'll tell my aides we can use. Do 1 through 5 on this. And then finally, with the possessive, again, we see the list of possessive pronouns. Again, possessive have ownership. Again, you'll do 1 through 10 on practice A. Like I painted, again, use both of them, see which one makes more grammatical sense. Like I painted my room red or I painted mine room red. Well, we know it's my in this sense because we could use mine if we said the red room is mine, is how we would do that, but we wouldn't say that mine room red. So it would be my. So for number 1, you would just put the word my, do 1 through 10. And then again, on practice B, we'll just do 1 through 5. We're going to read each sentence and complete the sentence by filling in the blank with a possessive case pronoun used correctly. Again, there's a multitude of them that can probably work. Like number 1, is that blank garden? We could say, is that his garden? Is that her garden? Is that their garden? Is that my garden? Is that our garden? Is that your garden? I don't know how many I've used. Again, there's a multitude of them that we can use. So I'll tell my aides to do that, and that'll be fine. As always, if you have any questions, please raise your hand in class or please message me on Schoolology. Thank you very much, Pirates, and have a super sparkly day.